Hi, I'm Georgia Patton and welcome to Board to Boss, the podcast where we dive into real, unfiltered stories behind building a business. I'm not an expert or a self-proclaimed business guru, I'm just like you. I'm here to listen, learn and soak up the experience and knowledge of others in the hope of bettering myself and my business. This podcast is proudly brought to you by Board George, the go-to designer sunglasses brand from New Zealand, crafting premium polarized sunnies. Okay, I'd like to welcome Wendy today. She is the owner of And Again. We've known each other for a couple of years now, I think.
Yeah.
Introduced through a online message and then a coffee. And the relationships blossomed from there.
I know.
Can you give our listeners like a really quick overview of what And Again is? And then we can dive deeper later.
Yeah, so And Again is a online consignment and thrift store. So we have two parts to our business. We provide a door-to-door wardrobe clear-out service for women across the country and a easy way to shop secondhand online.
Nice. That's a good little quick intro.
Yeah.
Okay, so what were you like in high school? Were you an academic? Were you not very much into it? Because there's this like rhetoric that business owners never did well in high school, which I fit into that one.
I don't think I was anything special in school. I feel like I'm like the most average like student. I never liked school. Never loved school.
No, I didn't either.
Yeah, didn't love school. I feel like I was just really average at everything because I didn't find what I was like, what I enjoyed.
Meant to do. Yeah.
You just don't, when you don't enjoy something, you just don't really like lock in.
Yeah.
And so that's sort of just what it was always. And by the time you start figuring out like, oh, maybe I have like interest in this, they're like, oh,
it's too late. Oh, you didn't do it in year 10.
Yeah, you didn't do it in year 10. You don't have the prerequisites. So I wasn't able to, because I think in like my final couple years of high school, I realized I was like, maybe I want to do like business or like economics or something that would be business related. And they were like, sorry, you just didn't take the papers or like, sorry, the classes to get into these
I was exactly the same. I only decided in like year 13 that I wanted to do interior design. And then they were like, well, you didn't take graphic design, you didn't take art history. And it's like, well, how am I supposed to know what I want to do when I'm 14?
Exactly.
Are you kidding? I don't even know what clothes I want to wear.
I know. And by the time you realize it's too late.
Yeah.
Which is so annoying. So then I ended up just taking random subjects I enjoyed. So I didn't really do what like my sort of like peers were doing. Like they did all like all the different sciences and the maths and, you know, all of that stuff. But for me, I was just doing what I enjoyed. I did like graphic design. I did, what else did I do? I did English because we had.
I didn't even do English.
Oh, wait, you don't have to in your final years, do you?
No. And then did you go straight into uni or did you take a gap year?
I went straight into uni.
Yeah.
I think because everyone else was going straight into uni, so that was the only pathway I knew.
But you got into uni. That's good. I didn't even get into uni.
So I went to uni. I did a Bachelor's of Commerce. I majored in marketing and commercial law.
Oh wow! So you're actually pretty much in the field that you studied.
Sort of, but I didn't know I wanted to do. Well, no, because I did jump into marketing roles. But ultimately, I feel like I don't love marketing as much as like people think I do.
It's like your whole job.
But no, I studied for finished my degree and everything, didn't know what I wanted to do. And then just ended up in like marketing roles and sort of went from there.
Did I see you moved over to London? When did you move?
I moved in, I think it was very similar actually. I moved in 2018.
Oh, I think I moved home in 2018. I think I moved at 2016.
Yeah. So I moved over there, did like my sort of 2 years. My job was going to want to keep me there, but then COVID hit and everything. And so then that was when the world was like on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you came home and what did you do here?
I didn't do anything when I came back.
Love that.
When I came back from London, I was still contracting for my company in London. So I was working sort of part-time because I was like, I think I want to start a business. And so I was sort of, getting that sort of side income and building And Again on the side I was keeping the job just in case And Again didn't work out.
Okay, so how did the idea of And Again come up? Because you've like intentionally started a business. Like that's an odd thing to do to all these people that I speak to. Like it's never an intentional decision. It's always something like, I did this on the side and then, you know, it's kind of blossomed and it's grown.
Yeah.
But you like intentionally started this.
Yeah, I think I think for me as a person, I know what makes me really sort of satisfied is to be able to make positive impact on people and our planet.
Yep.
So I really wanted to do something that was going to make me feel really good.
And have an impact.
Yeah, and have an impact. And so the core reason I started it was because I feel like it's always the same with a lot of business owners, right? You are always trying to solve a problem that you're having. And so I have just so much stuff. Like imagine yourself, right? It's your closet. You have that pile of clothes you say you're going to sell and list on Marketplace on the weekend.
I literally have a pile out in the back room.
Yeah?
Right now. That's been sitting there for 6 months.
That's you and every other person I speak to. And you promise yourself you're going to list it on Marketplace, you know, make some of that money back.
Yeah.
But it never happens because you have to deal with the negotiations. You have to deal with time wasters.
Getting the photos up.
Making
the photos look nice.
Yeah. But then you end up you just can't be bothered. And that was the issue, is that there is just no easy way to get rid of your clothes. And on the flip side, I love like thrifting. Like I enjoy going to the thrift stores. I love finding a gem of a piece, but realistically, I don't have time.
Yeah.
A ton of women out there just don't have the time because their lifestyle has changed, whether they're a new mum, whether they've got a family to deal with, whether they are working full time, whether they have a disability. There are so many barriers that stops people from actually choosing a more sustainable or a more kinder way to shop.
Yeah.
You know? And so that was all sort of the frustrations for me. And yeah, I didn't reinvent the wheel. Consignment and online thrift has always existed, but I think it's about really sort of putting a twist on it, breathing new life into it and seeing how you can sort of change the game.
And so what are the changes that you've made?
Well, I think typical consignment is still very brick and mortar. It's still very much retail in person. But what we have that's different is we're a fully digital business, which means that whether you're from New Plymouth, you're from Hamilton, or you're from Auckland, you all have the same access and the same ability to clear out your wardrobe with us, but also shop online with us without the sort of being limited to that sort of local stock. So if you can imagine it, we're basically building the ASOS or Iconic, but for secondhand fashion.
I love that.
It means you can come on our website, you can filter by size, color, brand, and you shop from one single source rather than buying online on Marketplace from all these different sellers and dealing with all these different headaches. And it's just a seamless experience.
And so the name And Again, I think I know where you would have gotten it from. Was that the name from the beginning?
It was the name from the beginning.
Just felt right.
Well, honestly, it was just because we didn't want to change it. I was like on a call with like my friend.
Too hard basket.
It's a too hard basket. I was on a call with my friend and I was like, I want to start this business. We both took design in school together, and we used to do these exercises like in class where like, let's brainstorm and create like a name or a business. And like we've done this like sort of exercise. We're like, let's just do that again. And so we just threw a couple of names out. But I really liked the idea of an ampersand.
Yeah.
I feel like it stood out to me. And so I basically was like, let's just do again and again. Like you just keep using things again and again. Let's roll with it. She was like, great. She was really good at like handwriting and like drawing and everything. And I was like, can you just write my logo? And like this, you just write my logo. I'll take that and I'll just stick it on everything. And that's what we did. Like
amazing.
It was just this really handwritten, ugly
scrappy
logo.
Got it done. I love that. But
Yeah.
they're the best stories.
I know.
Like now you're this amazing brand that people know, and it was a handwritten logo between you and a best friend.
Yeah, exactly.
How cool is that?
Yeah, it was so much fun like putting that together.
So what did the early days of And Again look like? You're a fully digital business. So you're having to build this platform from scratch. Did you have help?
In the early days, I think it was just sort of me, myself, and I to begin with. I was living at home with my parents because I just moved back from London and sort of just had the idea, knew exactly what I wanted to do with it. And because I guess most of my experience in my previous roles, I've worked in software and startups and everything. So I feel like I was trained to think in a certain way about building an MVP, getting it out there, iterating as we go. So I always say that we're building the plane as we like fly. And so it was just as simple as I feel like with most business owners, it's getting a Shopify, getting your Instagram up and running, having all the basic building blocks, and then sort of iterating and building the product when we were in market and understanding what the gaps were and where
what
we
the
needed
customer
to.
wanted, how they worked, what was missing.
Yeah, exactly.
And then what were some of the biggest challenges when it was just you back in the days? Like everybody listening to this is probably a solo founder starting out. What do you remember from the early days that were really, really hard?
Everything was so hard.
Don't you look at founders these days with AI and you go, oh,
I know.
you're so lucky.
Help me with this.
Yeah. How do I build this? Code this for me.
I feel like the hardest thing was with and again as an industry and what we're doing is I feel like anybody can go online and start selling secondhand clothing today. It's not hard to do what we do, but it is hard to do what we do at scale. And being able to automate and get those efficiencies and do what we do and not just, you know, for example, be uploading and selling like 10 products, but selling thousands of products because we are a high SKU. We're very different, right? We don't have just like 10, 20 bestsellers. We are an individual SKU sort of business.
Which is crazy. The amount of work that gets put into one SKU, it gets sold and then you've got to start again with a new one.
Exactly. But what we've done is we've been able to automate a lot of what we do through tech. We're a tech-enabled business, which means that we utilize tech where we can to either streamline, to automate, or to just lean out everything that we do so that rather than taking, you know, X amount of time to do this, we've cut this by, you know.
Can you give us an example?
60%. Well, for example, processing items. One of the sort of metrics that we use is how long does it take for an item to go from bag to a shelf? And I think we've got that down to under 3 minutes.
Whoa.
Yeah, per garment.
And that's including getting it online?
Yeah, everything.
How?
End to end. It's just through automation, just through systems that I cannot talk about.
Oh my God, that is incredible.
Yeah.
So you really are in the business of tech?
Yeah, so I've always found it quite difficult for us as a business to sit fully in e-com and then fully in the startup world because we're not like typical software where you can just scale like overnight, like that, like really quickly. But we are sort of that hybrid. We're a tech-enabled business, so we're still in the business of obviously a bit of e-com, half e-com and half sort of startup world.
Exciting.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's nice that you get to touch both sides and you get to work in both those industries around New Zealand.
Yeah.
I bet you have a lot of people that you've met through tech as well.
Yeah.
That are helping you along the way.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's so important to have like a varied support network, right? And I've done a bunch of like sort of different accelerator programs and things like that that have helped me build more of the sort of
like a network.
logistic side. The more operational side and getting sort of advice on that end. But then the e-commerce world is completely different. It's like switching brains because then you switch into this marketer, content creator sort of scale mode and like trying to get sales is completely different to building the tech and the sort of operational side. Because it's like two different brains.
Completely. I wouldn't even know where to start with anything tech.
Yeah. So
it's a different world.
Yeah, well, for me, that's why it's so important to have a good network and lean in and get support on things that you're not good at.
Yeah. Where do you find your network?
Oh my gosh, I don't know.
Yeah,
when I
like
think about it.
There's lots of people out there who are like, where can I find my people? Where can I find my network?
Yeah.
And to me, it's the same. It's a bit of a weird question, but you meet people along the way.
Yeah.
But I think it's putting yourself out there.
100%.
As well.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of sort of connections and, you know, a varied network of people that I'm connected with now that I've met through LinkedIn, through social media. I think it's just putting yourself out there.
Social media.
Yeah.
Like, don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to ask people for coffee.
Yeah.
Like, it's how the world works. If people say no, then fine.
Yeah, but I feel like everyone that I've asked to meet up, have a coffee with, have a chat with, everyone has said yes. I don't think anyone's ever said no.
And it's a mutually beneficial relationship half the time, right? Like, you're pulling information from each other.
Yeah.
And you're never walking away without something valuable. And so it's a win-win.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I feel like and it's not being afraid to actually ask people who seem like they're way too big, way too out of reach for you, because a lot of the times people just want to help you. Yeah. And I feel like I hear this on so many different podcasts and so many different like sort of advice. You know, people always say like, don't be afraid and ask for help. Like, it's genuinely true. Like, I didn't know that until I started jumping on LinkedIn, connecting with people that were doing cool things. And I'm like, actually, they could help me in, you know, maybe a specific key area that I'm struggling with. And most of the time people will have a chat with you, sit down. Obviously, they might not be long-term, you know, like partners or have a relationship with you, but they are willing to, a lot of the times they're willing to help.
LinkedIn is actually a golden nugget.
I know.
Like, if you're not on LinkedIn, get on LinkedIn.
I know.
And it's such a happy place as well.
Yeah.
You can like praise other people's successes and other people praise yours. It's not like Instagram where there's like tall poppy syndrome. I feel like LinkedIn is the complete opposite of that.
Oh, it's the complete opposite. And then sometimes you get the people who are like way on the other side. But it's a nice place. Like, I feel like I still don't use LinkedIn to its like potential.
Oh, 100%.
Like posting regularly, like updates and things. Because I think a lot of the times, realistically, I'm like, oh, I just don't have anything interesting to share.
And it's another thing, right? You're already posting on all your other platforms. LinkedIn is just another thing.
I know. I feel like both of us should go away and like make a LinkedIn post today or something.
Okay, let's do it. Let's actually do it.
Yeah.
Okay, deal. If you love bold eyewear as much as you love bold business stories, you need to check out Board George. Our sunglasses are designed to turn heads, feel amazing, and last season after season. And because you're part of the Board to Boss community, you get 15% off any pair of sunglasses. Just use the code BOSSPOD at checkout. That's BOSSPOD for 15% off at boardgeorge.com. Let's talk commercial leases.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to move into a commercial lease? Were you working out of your home, your parents' home, for quite a while before you took the leap?
Yeah, I was working at home for probably about 6 months, and my mum was really not happy with what I was doing. She's like, full disclosure, she's totally against like secondhand fashion. She thinks it's so weird. She thinks it's kind of, she's just not into it. I think growing up for them, especially with Asian culture, it's not normal to be shopping secondhand or wearing someone else's clothes. No, like, it's quite frowned upon. If you can buy something new, why don't you?
Yeah.
And especially when it comes to luxury brands, and having that status symbol and buying things.
I can understand that. Yeah.
Yeah, spending the money to show that you have money, right? And so my mum is not really into what I'm doing. Like, she still kind of gets it, kind of doesn't. She's like, as long as it's working and making money, like, you know, then she's sort of fine with it. But my mum was not, she wasn't into it.
Go do it somewhere else.
I know. So when I was getting bags and bags of clothes of these random strangers
arriving
across the country. Arriving at the doorstep, she's like, will anyone buy this stuff? This is crazy. And eventually, you know, while I was building that, it was during COVID.
Yeah. And
then I was like, okay, I'm gonna move out because it's getting way too busy and way too packed in here.
Yeah. Good problem to have.
Yeah. Then we then didn't move straight into commercial lease. I actually rented a 3-bedroom home.
What?
To begin with, because it's so much cheaper.
Oh my God, that's so smart.
Yeah, so then I rented a 3-bedroom home, and I was like, full disclosure, I'm going to be running a business here and stuff. And he was like, yeah, that's fine, because we're still living there.
Yeah.
And so I ended up renting that place. It blew up during COVID. Like, everyone was just clearing out their wardrobes during that time. People couldn't go to the thrift stores. People just need that online hit. I feel like with a lot of e-com, like, that was when...
That was their boom.
It was like the boom,
totally.
Right? And so for us, that was the same. And so during COVID, I needed to find my first commercial space. And so we went into our first like 80 square meter space.
Yeah.
And then that was when I was like, it was so new navigating the space because commercial leasing is so different. And we got that lease. We signed for 2 years. But I think within 6 months, we were already outgrowing that space.
Gosh.
And it was this tricky spot where you don't have, the funds to go and get a bigger space. But you had to make do with what you had. So for another 6 months, we stayed in that 80 square meter. And I was like, I can't, like I'm limiting my growth. I need to make a move. And this is actually probably one of the most scariest times, like to date, still moving from a 80 to now we're in about a 280 to 300 square meters.
Huge.
Yeah. It's really big. But that is, if anyone asked me about like a mistake or, a tough time in business, it was then.
Yeah.
Because I still had, I think 6 months of my lease there. And I was like, in my head, I planned out, I'm like, okay, I'm going to sign this new lease. I have 6 months here, but I think I can lease this out. Like I'll sublease it and we'll be golden. Like we'll just move on to the next,
I know what you're going to say.
And we couldn't sublet it. And when I think back to like how stressful that time was, like it was stressful because we were paying like money out of our ass. Like, there was just no money to be like, it's
draining.
It was draining. And we were paying for the new warehouse. We were paying for the old one. And sometimes it's great to go with gut. Because in my gut, I was like, yes, like this is going to be so good. Yeah. This all checks out.
We'll make this work.
And I was just, I believed in myself too much at that stage. Some delusion.
You had a plan. It just didn't work
play out.
Which happens.
Yeah.
It happens.
Exactly. And so we ended up, paying that, basically taking like a loss. And I was like, and I kept telling myself, it's okay. When I look back at this in a year's time, I won't even remember it. And so now that I'm sitting here and I can talk back in it, it's just a completely different mindset because you're like, okay, it's past now. But it was definitely the most stressful time and probably one of the most like,
anxiety inducing.
Oh, 100%. It was tough.
Yeah, signing any sort of leases.
Yeah.
It's so stressful.
So stressful.
Okay, so your day, I'm imagining if I ask you what a normal day looks like in your life, you're going to say no day is the same because that's pretty much my day. What does a typical Monday look like for you now that you have staff, now that you have a commercial lease, now that you have this growth?
Yeah.
Like what is your role in the business now?
I think every day the morning always starts the same.
Oh, yeah?
I always do sort of my like business health checks. Like I feel like I have to keep my finger on the pulse every single day to make sure there's no fires, just so I have a good like sort of overview of what's going on every single day.
What's included in your business health check?
It's seeing how much money we're making.
Yeah.
Is there any sort of fires content-wise, especially with paid media, just, a general sweep over everything just to make sure things are looking good or if things aren't looking good, what do we need to do? What do we need to action? But every single morning, without a doubt, me and my team will always have a morning huddle. So
every morning?
Every single morning before anyone starts anything, we have a morning huddle. We basically talk about priorities of the day. We talk about sort of if anyone has anything to share, any sort of wins, anything that's working well, anything that's not. It's just really great to get that sort of overview of what's going on and what we're going to work on and the priorities of the day, just so that everyone's super clear with what they need to do. So without a doubt, every single morning is like our business health checks, our morning huddles, and then we sort of break off into day to day. And so for me, I feel like even Mondays are never the same. Sometimes I might be, fighting fires in the warehouse. There might be a bunch of orders that came through over the weekend and we're having to pack them all, making sure we get them out on time, doing one-on-ones with the team members, making sure that their week is super clear to make sure that they understand their priorities, catching up with the team. Because I feel like for me, I love spending time with my team one-on-one as well, because it's really important for me as a boss, business owner, whatever we want to call it, is to give the tools and empower my team to be able to do their job well. because if they can do their job well and they have everything that they need to get things done, that makes my job easier.
You get the most out of them.
Yeah, exactly. So it's really just about it's like spinning plates. I always feel like I'm spinning plates. I'm like, okay, just making sure everything hasn't fallen, nothing is, getting out of hand. And
Are you pretty good at prioritizing, or do you feel like you're all over the show? Like, I'm one of those people that has 1,000 tabs open. I get distracted. I'm like, half this. And I really need to work on that. I feel like you seem like someone who's got your shit nailed down. Am I reading that right?
No, I just don't want people to think that, because I feel like I feel like a lot of people say that about me. And I'm like, no, I'm actually not like a type A at all. I'll have like a to-do list, and I feel like as I'm making my to-do list, I'll forget, and I'm like, something else.
Yeah.
But I do have like non-negotiables with myself every single day. I'm like, I need to get at least these things done.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'm also the same. Like I feel like there's 1,000 things.
It's because there's a fire, and then you put out the fire. Yeah. And then as you're putting out that fire, another one starts, and then it's it's just, you just can't.
Exactly. And so I feel like, I'm definitely not that sort of person that has it all together, but I feel like I feel best, and I feel like I work on things that move the needle.
Yeah.
I try not to work on too many things, because then you end up doing nothing, right? And so for me, I always have core projects every single day. Even for my team, I set sort of core projects with them. Either it's quarterly, weekly, daily. We have core projects we work on, and that really helps us move the needle with the business, whether it's customer focused, whether it's website focused, whether it's content focused. Yeah. I think when we really dial in and get shit done, it moves the needle, and that's what makes impact.
Yeah. How many team members do you have?
At the moment, including myself, it's 5 of us.
Wow. Okay. What's that been like, transitioning from founder to boss?
Founder is you wear all the hats, right? When you're wearing all the hats, you think that you're the best at all of it, because no one can do it to the same level or quality that you want it.
Yep.
And I think being a boss is what I was talking about, is being able to empower your team, give them all the resources and everything they need to be able to do their job well. And it's about letting go. Because,
it's about letting go. That's the biggest thing. Yeah.
If they can wear some of those hats for you, it's going to make your life so much easier.
100%.
Yeah. So it's been a difficult process sometimes. Like there's certain things I'm like, oh, I can definitely easily let go of this. But then there are some things where I'm like, oh, I think I can do this quicker and better and everything. And you shouldn't have that mindset, because you should delegate. I feel like every single leader, mentor, advisor, it's always delegate.
Yep.
And I feel like every single business owner is like, yeah, I know, I'll work on it.
Yeah.
And it's a slow process.
Yeah. Do you reckon that's the one thing no one told you about being a boss? Is there anything else that you came in and is like unexpectedly taken you time to learn and grow?
Oh, knowing my numbers.
Yeah.
I'm not a numbers person.
No, neither.
And
who is?
I'm not a numbers person, and I feel like being a great business owner means you know your numbers like inside out. And that's probably something that I hate and I don't enjoy. And it's something that I didn't expect I needed to do.
So much of. Every day.
Yeah, every single day. And so that's probably what I hate the most.
Yeah. Ugh. I think I'm on that boat too.
Yeah.
And let me put it this way, actually. I think I did hate it, but when the business is in its growth phase and you can see the changes, and maybe you educate yourself a bit more on where the changes are coming from, that's when I find interest in the numbers, is when you can see what is pushing the needle forward.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
No, that makes sense.
During the hard times, I don't want to look at my numbers. I'm sorry. Like, why do you? But we're at this point now where we're putting so much effort into like paid media and content, and we can see specifically where the money's coming from. And that's the time where I'm like, okay, the numbers are fun.
I love numbers when my bank account's going up.
That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. That's what I'm trying to say.
That's when I love numbers.
Good, I love numbers. When it's not, I don't like them.
Exactly. But it's something that we just have to learn, right? To learn to be able to understand why it's not going the way we want to, and have clear, actionable steps on how to sort of mitigate that. And so
fun stuff.
I know, fun stuff.
Fun stuff. Okay, let's talk sustainability, because your business does have a sustainable side.
Yeah.
You are always thinking about how to better people, planet, all of the above. Such great intentions behind the business.
Yeah.
Can you talk to that and some of the, I guess, goals of the business for the future?
Yeah. Well, our sort of mission is we are tech-enabled resale that's inspiring better fashion habits for our people and our planet.
You've got that now down, don't you?
That is like what we live, like that's what we live and breathe every single day. Is we want to make it as simple and easy as possible for you to implement our business into your daily life. I always talk about Undergain sort of like a supermarket. So we're accessible for anyone, whether you are coming in, you're topping up on your PAMs, you've got a lower budget, you just need the sort of like basics of your wardrobe, you can come in and find us. But you can also come in and buy your sort of bougie
Barkers.
Whole Foods, like your bougie sort of like, top of the shelf sort of items as well. A lot of brands, you want to niche down, but for us, we're really a brand for everyone at different price points and at different life stages as well. And so for me, and it comes back to that whole, we want to build the ASOS or the iconic for secondhand fashion, because when we're able to break down barriers of time, location, disabilities, all of those things above, and make it super, super easy for you to shop secondhand without feeling like it's
a burden
and to be honest, I think a huge chunk of like what I build now is to really prove that secondhand isn't sort of icky.
Yeah.
People who thrift get it because they love the joy of hunting and thrifting and, all of that. But our business is also really focused on changing the minds of people who don't thrift, people who have never thrifted before because of reasons like it's overwhelming.
That's me. I find it overwhelming.
Yeah, overwhelming. Maybe sometimes people don't like the smell of it. They don't like the thrill of the hunt. They can't see and envision like a typical thrifter would be.
Yeah.
So actually a lot of our customers are people who probably won't step foot into a thrift store. But now that they've discovered us, they're able to shop like it's essentially like online shop, like fast fashion, but for secondhand.
Yeah.
And so we're still able to serve that sort of dopamine of adding 10 things to your cart, checking it out, but you're sort of choosing a more sustainable way to shop.
I love it.
It's just a kinder way to shop because you're choosing secondhand. So my vision is that you think secondhand first. So before you go out and buy those pair of jeans, you're like, wait, let me just check Undergain if they have those Levi's.
Yeah.
So for example, we sell a bunch of Levi's 501s all the time. We have them always in stock. People send them in all the time because, again, people buy way too much. And so they're in like literally brand new condition all the time because we have obviously a standard a minimum standard as well, because if you wouldn't buy it for yourself, we wouldn't sell it to you. We wouldn't want to sell it to our community. And so in that, it's like being able to search it, find it, get it secondhand. But if you can't, then maybe consider it new.
Yeah.
So it's sort of just
changing a mindset
and sort of slotting ourselves in to that sort of pre-purchase of something new.
And people's mindsets are changing, like the hiring phenomenon. Like if you're going to an event, loads of people hire now.
Yeah.
That didn't used to be a thing.
Yeah.
Like that is now common practice, I think, for a lot of people.
Especially PR events and things like that.
Yeah, I go to events all the time and hiring is just so easy.
Yeah.
And this is just, it's another thing like that. It's a mindset. It's getting people to think in a different way. I've got an event coming up. I'm not just going to go and drop money on a brand new
$800 on like a designer dress.
Yeah, let me go look and see what I can get secondhand.
Yeah.
Save myself money, save myself time.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm also not purchasing something that I'm not going to, wear again. You can also then pop it back on.
Exactly. And we do see that. So circular fashion is a huge part of our business, and it's one of the really rare cases where you do see circular fashion come to life. For example, I've sold some of my stuff on there. I've sold a dress. Someone has bought that dress. I've seen it come back because we can track everything. We've resold that and it's gone through 2 different cycles.
How good.
And that is truly what circular fashion is about. It's being able to reuse and extend the life of a single piece of clothing because there's just so much waste.
And get more wear out of it.
Get more wear out of it, especially if you buy good quality pieces. I always see sort of clothing as an investment as well. When you choose to buy something of quality, that's going to last longer. You can have better resale value. It can sort of go through more cycles.
Amazing. I just the whole idea of it. I'm so impressed.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk content and marketing. At our latest coffee catch up, we spoke about intentional organic content, which I think restructured my brain. We'd been feeling quite lost with content, and you just put it perfectly. So I actually wanted you to talk about intentional content.
I think with organic marketing, it's sometimes it's all over the show.
Yeah.
But we want it to still be very structured. So we have sort of, we break it into our top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel, where, some people are at different life stages of discovering your business. And so for us, we want to create content that sort of resonates at each sort of level of that as well. Because obviously we have our paid marketing ads and everything. Yep. That's a completely different story. But for our organic, we still want to create, for example, for our top of funnel, we love creating content series. We've tested a bunch of different content series, and one that we're currently doing at the moment is our Andover.
Yeah.
So an Andover is where we invite well-known maybe influencers, content creators, personalities all across, Auckland, invite them in, pretend to find them on the streets.
I love the first time I saw it, I was like, that's your car park.
I know. It's like a mechanic, we're next to like a mechanic. Yeah. And there's no way someone's hanging out there. No. We pretend to find them on the street. We bring them in for a styling session. So Maya, our content coordinator, who does an amazing job at sort of styling them, putting them in an outfit that is a little bit of them, a little bit, to be honest, I think her style's very Gen Z. So
it's very Gen Z. Yeah.
So she puts them in an outfit, and then we do like a runway. We sort of do just like we've been Andovered. It's such a simple formula, but we do the exact same formula with different creators. But every single time we try to bring a bit of personality from the creators themselves. So for example, what are you known for? And then bringing that element in. And when we do partnerships, it's a really, really great way for us to leverage both sides' audience, which is the whole reason for our Andover series. It's a bit of fun and everything, but it is also really great at top of funnel. It's
amazing
great for new
top of funnel.
audience.
It's so smart.
And so that series is something we're doing bi-weekly, and we're going to continue to do because it's just doing so well.
Yeah.
And so for us at the moment, we're still testing other content series, for example, different wish list series, which kind of flopped for us. So we're still iterating that. Yep. But it's just to show that, you just have to test every single thing. And only until you've tested can you say like it didn't work. And so that's something we're doing at every single stage. And we're trying to get a varied sort of team effort as well, because one thing I don't want to run into is our brand to be known as a single person's face. And what we're trying to do now is diversify it. So it's a very team. It feels very much brand rather than a singular person.
Yeah. I love that. That's hard to do when you are a small business.
Of course, yeah.
But when you have a couple of team members who are happy to hop in front of the camera, then that's definitely a smart way to go.
Yeah, for sure.
And it makes a difference when your customer knows who is behind the business as well. I feel like there's that personal relationship that starts to blossom, and they trust you more, and they trust you with selling their clothes and purchasing clothes from you as well. So
yeah, for sure.
It's a win-win.
Yeah.
Paid media, you mentioned it before. Do you have a different strategy for paid media versus organic, or do you use a lot of your organic for your paid media as well?
It's completely different content.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's completely different because I feel like with paid media, it's very structured. There's a formula as well in terms of what works really well, especially at your top of funnel, people discovering you for the first time. You sort of have to really dumb it down to what you do, especially for us. We can't scream and shout about a best-selling product.
No, you can't.
No, we have to really talk about what you can achieve, the outcome, the problems you're struggling with, like problem solution. Here are the different reasons why we're a better alternative or how we're different to the market. And so it's a very different way of producing content.
It's really hard now that I think about it. Like most of our top of funnel is just promoting our bestseller.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of companies. You have your one bestseller. That's how you bring people into your business. Yeah. You don't have a bestseller.
No, for services.
You don't have a bestseller.
Which was sort of preaching a concept. And so what we've done is we've been able to figure out different content types. For example, UGC is one of our sort of best performing content because it's sort of social proof, right? People want to know that
someone's done it before.
Yeah. For example, one of our best one is like, I'm a busy mum and I don't have time to thrift anymore, but I still want to shop sustainably. And so we've hit all those points. You're a busy mum. I'm a busy mum.
Yeah.
I want to shop sustainably. I don't have the time. We're trying to really hone in on the problems that a lot of and majority of our customer base have, and really turn that into sort of our ad content so that it really speaks to them. And so when they're like, that's me, they can sort of really relate. And then so that's sort of what we focus on rather than saying, here's our bestseller. Oh, it's gone. So our best sellers are maybe certain brands. So we'll have to preach brands that we might stock or that we might have. So it's a very different way to product-based businesses where you can sort of import and order, if you're doing well, order the next 1,000 units of a single style. Like
we do, like sold out 10 times. Back for the 11th time. Yeah. That's how we sell.
Exactly.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I don't envy you. That's really tough. What you're saying about mum content though.
Yeah.
That is funny you brought it up because that's one of the biggest changes that we've made.
Yeah.
When we had our last little coffee, Jess and I had been feeling really lost with our content and how our Instagram wasn't seeming to align with our paid media. And when we really knuckled down who our customer was, who was buying, who was tagging us, who was emailing us, that sort of thing, it was always a mum.
Yeah.
Always a mum. Whereas all of our content was young Gen Z. And that's where the alignment was missing. And so in the past 2 months, we've changed our approach to paid media.
Yeah.
Pretty much the same as you.
Yeah.
Busy mum doesn't have time to get ready in the morning, just wants to put a pair of sunnies on that makes them feel put together, makes them feel confident.
Yeah.
We've seen the change instantly.
Yeah.
And we've missed that for so long. And it's something so simple can make all the difference.
And that's the thing, when you start your business, you feel like you need to, and you feel like your target audience. You're like, oh, this is so clear, who it is, who they are. But actually it changes. It changes over time.
And it changes as I change as well. So the thing that I've forgotten is I did start the business when I was 22, 23.
Yeah.
I'm not that anymore. I'm close to 30.
Yeah.
And I still in my head almost had that thought that I was selling to the same generation. But as I've gotten older, so has my audience. Yeah. And it's funny that in the last 2 months, we've changed our target to the busy mum because that's going to be me in a month or two. Do you know what I mean? Like the customer is growing with me. God, in 10 years, we might be selling to 40-year-olds.
Yeah.
Then 50, it's just, you just don't know. And I just didn't have my finger on the pulse as much as I should have.
That was the same for us as well. When we first started, we thought we would be targeting the Gen Zs, the young thrifters, the people who were, the marketplace fiends, the people who love, already to do, who love doing it. But actually, because we were coming out with a solution to solve the whole busy mum problem.
Yeah.
I feel like we talk about busy mums all the time today.
It is a problem.
It is a problem because when you get to a certain stage in your life, you lack time and you're willing to pay for convenience. And that's for us. We aren't going to be as cheap as marketplaces or a thrift shop or an op shop.
Yeah.
Because we're not an op shop. We're a curated online thrift store that has done everything for you. And so you can't expect a like for like, right?
No.
But people who understand it are the ones who lack time, who are willing to pay for that convenience, and they're the segment of the market we want, not the people who still have,
half a day to go
to the op shops and sift through everything. You might do, and you might have that luxury, but a lot of people don't. And so when people sort of compare us like for op shops, we're not in the same business. We're not the same at all.
You've really targeted down your niche.
Exactly. And that's when we started to discover actually our sort of target demographic is actually a lot older than we thought.
And it's to change people's minds, not to convert those who are already op shoppers.
Exactly. Because when you're in uni, right, you have maybe
time and you have money.
Time.
You live with mum and dad.
Yeah, exactly. You might have a lot of time and money.
Yeah.
And you're willing to spend and and a whole weekend at the op shops. I don't. I know I've got gardening to do, I've got my laundry to do. Yeah. I've got so much I need to do on the weekend, right?
A weekend is no longer a weekend.
No, it's so precious, that time. And I'm like, I just don't think I can spend that, sifting through all the racks and maybe come out with nothing.
And if you feel like that, there's a whole bunch of people out there that feel like
exactly.
that. It's now time for special delivery, brought to you by Go Sweet Spot, the shipping platform saving businesses time, money, and stress by comparing courier options, integrating with your online store, and streamlining the entire delivery process. Go Sweet Spot changed the game for me at Board George. This one platform has saved me time, reduced stress, and its simplicity is unmatched, with customer service that is second to none. In this segment, we share tools and hacks you can instantly implement, and for us, Go Sweet Spot has been this hack. Okay, let's get into special delivery.
Oh, yes.
Cool. What have you bought for us today?
I was having a think about that. And so for me, I was thinking about the biggest struggles that a lot of small business owners talk about, and that's not knowing what to do next.
Yep.
And sort of feeling stuck with a challenge. And one thing that I found that helped me was building a unofficial board of advisors. So sometimes when we hear board of advisors, oh my God, that's way too, professional. That's way too, intense for me at this stage of my business.
You think of 5 men in suits sitting around a round table.
Exactly. But actually a board of advisors or unofficial board of advisors doesn't have to be like that. So if you had to go away and build that today, I would say there are 3 key pillars. One is a peer, one is a advisor, and one is a mentor.
Okay.
And so a peer is someone that is on a similar journey to you that you can knowledge share. You can share emotions.
Yeah.
You can sort of get
that relatability.
Learnings from each other, right? And that is so helpful because especially if you're in different industries or adjacent industries, there's so much you can learn from each other
100%.
and relate to.
Yep.
The second is having an advisor. This could be someone who has really key specialized knowledge in a certain area or a challenge you might be facing. So maybe it's even setting up like a quarterly, a yearly, 6 monthly call, but it's having that person that is willing to sort of advise you on a very, deeper or top level, whatever that might look like.
Some knowledge and
well,
some
you
experience.
need some knowledge, yeah, exactly. And then having a mentor. So a mentor is different to an advisor in the sense, for me at least, I work with a mentor that helps me more emotionally, but also being a woman in business.
Yeah.
That helps me with staying rooted to my whys, making me a better leader. It's all the softer skills of being a business owner.
Yeah.
And so having those 3 key pillars means that you have a variety of
people to reach out to.
But that also means you're not just working with one single person that might take you down this one way of thinking, and you become this, and you get tunnel vision.
You broaden your horizons and you can make your decision based off of a couple of options.
Exactly. And having that sort of those varied key pillars of support is so important because depending on what challenges you're stuck with, you can then say really confidently, I have this key person I'm going to. Yeah. And it's even just saying, hey, I'd love you to sort of advise with me for, and maybe we can meet up for coffee once a quarter.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be formalized. You don't have to sign a contract with them to be a formal board of advisors. I have advisors that I work with that are just maybe sometimes we'll get coffee or maybe we'll jump on a call and they have the knowledge and the industry experience or they're, experts in a certain
So these
field.
are just people that you've met in your day-to-day or on LinkedIn or that you've reached out to.
Yeah.
Nothing official has been done. Is it paid?
No, sometimes it could be paid, but for me, it's like having that sort of informal relationship and finding someone that you can lean in on.
Yeah.
Obviously, there are paid advisors as well.
Yeah.
But I think, if you don't have the money for that, go out and connect with people. And this is going to get you networking. And if they're not the right person, they might, introduce you to the right person. And that's what happened with me. I got introduced to so many different people and I found someone that really resonated with me and wanted to help me. You'd be surprised at how often that a lot of these successful professionals, want to help you. Genuinely.
And again, it's putting yourself out there. Like you wouldn't have found these people if you didn't start communication with one person who then introduced you to another.
Exactly.
And vice versa.
And all I did was like, I blocked out time in my calendar. I think once a week I blocked out my time and I was like, reach out to at least like 2 new people this week and just introduce yourself and tell them about your business, tell them your goals, tell them your, tell them everything and see if you guys click. And the first person might not be the right person and you don't have to feel discouraged, but it is just about getting yourself out there and getting known.
Amazing. That's really, really great advice. That's actually an amazing special delivery. So you've come up with a good one. Okay, moving on to more like mindset, business owners lessons that you've learned.
Okay.
What is one of the biggest pinch me moments from your past 5 years, is it, that you've been in business?
Yeah, coming up to 5. This is a tough one. And let me share this with you. So something that I've realized over the last couple of years is I've become really good at managing stress, right? So I don't get as stressed about something, even if it's on fire, as I used to. So I've learned to manage my lows.
Yep.
But while doing that, I have also suppressed, I feel like my lows are not as low.
No, I totally get you.
And my highs are just not as high.
Yeah.
Which is something that I've personally been trying to work through because it's really sad. Because you've learnt to manage these emotions, you don't get that other extreme of feeling like really excited because you hit this milestone.
Yeah.
Right?
You hit it and then you move on 2 seconds later.
You hit it and you move on, and that's so bad. This is not how I feel like people should be.
No, I feel like this is super relatable. It's super relatable. Yeah, you're not the only person I've heard that feels that. And one of the most common sentiments is that as a founder or a business owner, you don't celebrate the wins. And it's usually because you're too focused on
the next thing.
Exactly. You may be like, cool, we hit that. Or like, a minute of excitement.
And you're like, great, let's move on to the next thing.
Yeah, isn't it weird?
It is weird. And I don't like it sometimes because yes, I don't get as stressed anymore because a lot of my friends are like, how do you manage everything? How do you not feel stressed about this? This is going like the wrong way. How do you not feel, all this pressure? And it's like, because I guess I've just learned to manage it and see, what are my next steps, be able to put out those fires and have a really clear idea of what to do next.
Plus, we've spoken about this on the podcast. I actually recently had the conversation with Rachel. It's when you get knocked down, you build resilience to a point where you're so used to it. And that's where your stress management comes from, is it's happening so often and you're having to think of ways to get around issues so often that the next time the issue happens, it's like, oh, I've been here before. I actually know how to manage this.
Yeah, it's getting those reps in.
Exactly. It's like working out and exercising and becoming stronger. But eventually you just don't feel the stress in the same way.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's why every time, I get asked this a lot. Like, what are you most proud of? Like, what's the most exciting thing? And it's like, why is it so difficult to pinpoint? I feel like we should be feeling really proud of, what we've achieved and what we've done. But if I'm completely honest, like I just don't even have something to make up.
Okay. Do you have any regrets over the past 5 years? Lots of people are like, oh, I don't have regrets because I learned from them. I definitely have regrets. I would do things differently.
I think I regret not getting the right help and support earlier. It's really easy to be a small business owner and then do the whole like, oh, I didn't know. So I tried to Google everything and I tried to like self-learn and
which is what
that's
I did.
Great. Yeah, which is what most of us do.
Yeah.
But I feel like when you get to a certain point, I wish I scaled faster earlier.
Oh, same. That's my one. I dithered so long.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's you try to do it yourself and you try to save money and you try to do all these things yourself because it's what you know. You don't know what you don't know, right? But if I could tell my younger self, I would say just find help, find the right
But I think
advisors.
that's also having belief in yourself as well. Like
100%.
I didn't have the confidence back then to probably be able to go to an advisor or be able to go to someone and be like, hey, look, I'm doing this thing. Can you help me with it? Like I still call myself a small business, but for years I didn't even tell people that it was a business. Do you know what I mean? Like I was like, I just run this little thing on the side. Like you don't have the confidence and you don't have the like, almost the vocabulary to have the confidence to tell someone what you're doing. And without that, how are you supposed to ask for help?
Exactly. I think it's a tough one, isn't it? Because it's that having that confidence as well to be able to say, these are the options that I have. So to be honest, I think it's just knowing what resources are available to you, especially when you're a small business.
Yep.
So finding the right sort of accelerator programs or like finding small business programs, grants, all of these things you didn't know that was, sort of available to you. But once you do, you can actually find a network of people who are willing to help you. But it's just...
And there is stuff out there. Like when you start looking, it's actually quite easy to get money and quite easy to get advisors and quite easy to get help.
Yeah, exactly. I think it was 6 months after we launched, I joined a Facebook group that was like, I don't know, some like business sort of group. And I saw a post in there where it was like this competition to win a grant for like 10 grand. And I was like, no way, right? So I had to submit a video and put that video out there and then sort of get accepted and then go and pitch and like do all of that stuff. That was my first sort of exposure to startup. And then also just what do you mean grant? Like what is like...
You just hand me the money?
You just hand me the money. And so I went through that process and the other finalists that I was up against were like multi-million-dollar businesses, very established businesses, all of that stuff. And it was my first time ever pitching to like a group of people who, it was a judging panel and everything. It was pretty intense 6 months in. And long story short, I ended up winning. I got People's Choice on that time.
Amazing.
And they gave me 10 grand. I got 10 grand and I had no idea what to do with it.
Yeah.
And so it was just like, there are so many things that you can sort of get access to, but it's just making sure you have that right support, that guidance. Yeah. And knowing that those options are out there. Because I didn't think,
resources are there. Yeah.
I literally didn't think I would win at all. But here we are.
Here we are. Yeah. Oh my God, amazing. Well, it's been so nice picking your brains and talking to you. We could chat forever, and we do. Like, we'll go for coffee next week and continue these conversations. I hope our listeners have taken so much away. You've been pretty raw and open with us with your whole journey, which we appreciate so much. So thank you.
No, thank you for having me.
Yay. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Board to Boss. And to say thank you, here's a cheeky little treat just for you. Use the code BOSSPOD at boardgeorge.com for a sweet little treat. And we will catch you next time.